All right, welcome to the first episode of Think Time Theory. My name is Ed.
And my name is Azmi.
Yeah, we're here today. We want to start with a little bit of an introduction on what are we planning to talk about.
Yeah, and the concept as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
We've been, first things first, we are here in Dubai. We are
Dubai,
colleagues.
UAE.
But we are more than colleagues. We are friends, actually.
Yes.
We've known each other like for what, about 6 years now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about 6
Since
years now. Yeah,
20,
absolutely.
2017.
Yeah. 2017, yeah, around November, December 2017.
Yeah. And you know what is like really, really interesting right now is that I'm from Singapore, guys, and I have a Malay heritage.
I'm from Puerto Rico originally.
And we are here halfway across the world in Dubai. And I found out that we have
A lot of things in common.
A lot of
yeah.
things in common,
A lot of
right?
things in common, yeah.
Right. There are some differences, but generally there's a lot of things in common,
Yeah.
right? So basically, we set out with this journey. I would say journey, right?
Yeah, journey,
Right.
yeah. This is a journey. for
It's
sure.
a journey for us.
Yeah.
What we like to do is we set out with this YouTube channel, and we actually wanted to do a sort of a watch review, but not a watch review, you know. And we want to do something like, because I know that you have a lot of watches, and I know that there's no way that you can keep track on what you have and what you had,
Right.
unless you catalog it somehow.
Yeah.
And what better way than making a YouTube channel?
To do it here on Think Time Theory.
Think Time Theory.
Yes.
And we took like freaking 3 weeks to think of that name, Think Time
Yeah.
Theory, right? So a little bit about my background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a father of 3. I'm in Dubai, and I'm doing air traffic control, just like Edwin.
Yeah, we're both air traffic controllers here in the UAE.
Yes, in UAE, Dubai especially, and I'm like in my mid 40s right now, and I'll be 46 next week, brother.
Ah, nice.
Right, and what I like to do is that my other passion is back there. I like to do
Music.
DJ.
Yes.
DJing is my passion. It used to be my second career.
Right.
You know, moonlighting as a DJ, something that I think I'm good at up till now. I think, even though I'm kind of like a retired guy, but other than that, I won't say I like collecting watches. I appreciate
Right.
watches.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, we'll talk about those things. There.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
many different
Yeah.
ways of, call it appreciation,
Yes, yes.
collecting, or
Yes.
being an enthusiast. I think
Hobbies.
everybody has like a different definition of what they like and what they do with,
Yes,
with
yes.
the watches.
I totally agree with you. Like both of us have our difference in approaching to watches,
Yeah.
right? And mainly this is what we want to do, cataloging our watches, because I know for sure that Edwin buys and sells watches, right? So
I do on a regular basis.
on a regular basis, can you believe it? On a regular basis, I don't have the cash to do it. I got 3 kids,
Yeah.
you know, but I do appreciate. I do have my favorites among the watch brands and stuff like that. Other than that, I like to shisha.
Yeah. Me too.
That's how we
Yes.
became
That's
close.
another thing we can talk for days about.
Yes, right. So enough about me. Now about yourself.
Yeah, like I said, I'm from Puerto Rico originally. I lived in the U.S. for many years. I did air traffic control in the U.S. and then eventually led me to here to the UAE. I've been collecting many different things over the past few years. But the main thing that stuck with me was watches, of course, which I think it's been maybe like 10 years now.
Right.
Yeah, 10 years of collecting watches and just buying and selling, not with the purpose of making any money, just like honing down what I like. Because honestly, like you may think you like something, but when you have it in your hand
Yeah.
and you try it on for
Yeah.
like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you find out that maybe you didn't like it as much as you thought you would.
Yeah.
So it's just trial and error, man. It's just trying things out, see what I like, and going with the flow.
You know, this is something that I've never told you about, because the very first time that you mentioned about watches, and especially this stuck in my mind, okay, because it brings me to another appreciation for watch collecting.
Right.
Okay, for me, I have to tell you, I'm a Seiko loyalist.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Seikos, especially divers, and I do my collection of G-Shocks. And I used to have a lot of G-Shocks from the 80s, from the 90s,
Those are
all
really,
the old
really
ones.
cool stuff, man.
You know,
Really, really cool.
I don't have them anymore, a lot of them, because back in Singapore, if you keep them for a long time and you don't wear them enough, the humidity from the Singapore,
It is very humid in
yeah,
Singapore.
it's just gonna make the resin
Right.
like rot, you know,
That's
rot till crazy. Yep. So anyway, like I kind of have a bigger respect for Edwin, because I remembered the very first time that you told me about your Zenith, right?
Yes.
And then, you know, it has its value. I would think it's valuable in terms of its monetary value.
Right.
But then you told me something that makes me have a lot of deeper respect for you, is when you told me that you actually use the timekeeping
Yeah.
for
remember that story,
for what for your baby.
Yeah. When my daughter was born, I wore that watch. And you know, like when the babies are
Yeah.
new, right? They tell you have to
Yeah,
feed the baby
regularly.
every
Yeah.
sometime,
Yeah,
right?
every
So I
few
actually
hours.
use my chronograph to time those
Can-
sessions.
Can you believe it? Can
Yeah.
you believe it, guys? Somebody actually uses the chrono function on a chrono watch for something specific, and that specifics actually made me realize that, you know, I should have more appreciation for watches. I do have some history and some memories for some of my watches, not all.
Right.
Like what I'm wearing right now, you know, it's a G-Shock Frogman. It's not my favorite model,
Yeah.
but this is something that I cannot let go of, because it's a wedding gift
Very nice.
during my marriage, right? So, yeah, it's just one of those things, right? Other than that,
That's actually a good segue for you to present the watch that you're wearing nicely, just so they can see it.
yeah,
You
okay.
can take it off your wrist and put it here so they can see it nicely.
All right,
Yeah?
sure. All right, so I have to say that this is what a 2012, 2013 model of a G-Shock Frogman, right? This Frogman is actually has a nickname for it, right? It's called the Shrek ears,
That's really cool, actually.
because of these two here, the button
Right,
protector.
yeah. It looks like ears.
Shrek, the
Yes.
ears from Shrek.
Yeah.
You know, why I say it's not my favorite model, because it just stands out a little bit big on that lug to lug. It's not the most comfortable,
Right.
but still, it's very very special.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things.
I
that
love these
really
Frogmans.
like.
I told you that
Yeah.
one of my first passions when I was starting collecting was G-Shocks.
Yeah.
And the Master of G, how do you call it? Master of G editions.
Yeah.
All right. And I did have one of those Frogmans, and I loved it. I
Yeah.
really liked it.
It's meant for scuba diving, but
Yeah.
we all know that's not a
Of course
diving
these days,
computer,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
more of, you know, keep tracking your depth and something like that. But I still love it. You know,
Yeah,
one of
very
my few G-Shocks. Most of it are vintage collection. And tell me, brother,
Yeah,
how,
for me.
how many watches do you have right now?
Oh man, I think right now I have, I think 17 or 18 watches. I want to say, yeah, about 17, which is actually a lot of watches, honestly.
And
Yeah.
how much do like an average cost?
For
A
us,
minimum.
for each or as a whole.
As a whole, what's the range, the price range like? from the most cheapest.
Oh, you're talking about like pricing
Yeah,
as far as like my watches ranges from a Seiko from like around $500 all the way to the most expensive one is about close to $20,000.
$20,000.
$20,000.
Something that I can afford. So
It took a long time for me to get that watch.
I'll only wear that when you wear this to work, right?
Yeah.
So Edwin brought like a bit of his collection,
Yeah.
and then maybe we'll pick out one.
But let me
watch.
show you the watch that I'm wearing right now,
Yeah, sure.
which is actually the one that I got, my latest watch actually.
Right.
This is called the Omega Museum No.3
Right. This is the
from
one
2003.
right.
It's a limited edition of I think 1945, which is actually the date of the recreation of this watch, which was 1945.
Can you believe that?
Really cool piece. Really like it.
A piece of history on your
definitely.
wrist.
Yeah.
You know.
Very, very cool. Something that you don't see on a regular basis, to be honest with you. I had a Speedmaster that I sold to be able to get this watch.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I do. I do trade up sometimes. Sometimes I even trade down, depending on what I'm into at that moment, you know?
Yeah. So guys, first things first, let me tell you something that we are not doing a watch review.
Yeah, no
Right.
watch reviews.
So I'm not going to put any specs, the price on how you can get this, the information of the watch. This is, like I said, more of a cataloging,
Yeah.
you know. For every watch that we have, there's a story behind it on why we wear it, why we want to have it. And this is one very, very good reason why my friend here, Edwin, actually bought this, because it's really part of history,
Definitely, yeah.
you know, right?
I do love historical pieces. I tend to gravitate more to historical pieces as opposed to like pieces that, you know, because of the design or because of the color.
Right.
More about design, more about the historical value of the watch.
Right. So anyway, we are up to like almost the 13-minute mark, and I think we actually jumped the gun. We actually wanted to showpiece display just one watch, but in the end, you showed your Omega and I showed my G-Shock, and you have something here. Can we pick out one watch that you want to do for the next next?
So let's see.
Let's just show them, and then.
It would be nice to talk about my reversal.
His reversal, guys. Take a look at that, and then we'll
Can
talk.
put it in there.
Yeah. Reversal. Right. Oops. It's upside down. Right. So, I think let's call it an episode.
Yeah.
I think it's
Very first one.
Our very, very first one, and I think it's very fruitful.
Yeah.
I think I'm still new.
We're all new.
We're all new
Yes.
I'm very, very new in video editing, YouTube and all. So I'm gonna try my best to come up with something that's good for us, and hopefully we can continue with the next episode.
Yeah.
Right. So
All right, guys. See you on the next one.
see you next one.